Hello, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Ron and thank you for stopping by. I did a safety video on the OneWheel about a year ago and I thought it was time to put together an updated or newer 2020 video. Now that I reached 1,000 miles on my OneWheel board, it's certainly time to provide some updated information. First thing I want to toss out there is safety. Safety should absolutely be high on your list of priorities if you're at all thinking about purchasing the OneWheel or even the Pint. I'm going to leave some links below if you're at all interested in some of the safety gear. Things like wrist guards, helmets, knee pads, elbow pads, anything like that. I'll put some links below. You can check those out. Some of the gear I'm actually using. And first I want to say that I absolutely do enjoy my OneWheel Plus XR, and this video is in no way intended to discourage or frighten anyone away from enjoying or buying a OneWheel or a Pint. However, please be safety conscious and understand this board before you just jump on it and decide you're going to just take off at full speed. Not a great idea, trust me. The goal of this video is simply to educate and hopefully save others some of the pain riders before you have often learned, yes, the hard way, and myself included. So let's jump right into it. I shot these two videos separately. The first one is Melissa and myself. We were just checking out a new trail that we hadn't been on before after we finished up at the gym, hence the gym clothes. We'd never ridden this trail before. And the second trail that you're gonna see me ride is one that I ride frequently, and it's actually right behind my house. Now, you'll also see some Skydio 2 footage in this video. If you're not familiar with the Skydio 2, it's a great drone with 360-degree object avoidance. I'm gonna leave some links below as well for that drone in case you're not familiar with it as well. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. So the first safety tip we'll jump right into is going to be always wear a helmet. I know it's not super fashionable, not everybody wants to wear a helmet, but trust me, you're going to want to wear a helmet when you're taking out this board. It's just the right thing to do, and I feel better knowing some of you listened to my video and took my advice. So do me a favor, make sure you ride with a helmet. Elbow pads and knee pads I would also recommend. It doesn't matter if you're beginner or expert, depending on how intense or hard you're riding. You may certainly want to consider elbow pads and knee pads, especially for the aggressive riders. The second tip I would recommend is wear the appropriate shoes. I did an earlier video on this. You can check out that previous video as well. Well-fitting shoes are going to help you grip the board better. Don't wear shoes or slicks or worn out soles, anything that's going to make it difficult for you to stick basically to the board. You want good contact with your board. And the third tip would be stay centered over your board. You know, to accelerate, you push your front foot down while remaining centered over the wheel. Don't lean too far forward to accelerate. It puts you in a very vulnerable position and could potentially leave you in what's called a nosedive situation. So make sure you're staying centered over your board. The fourth tip is you want to understand your board limits, which brings us to a topic everyone should know about. If you haven't heard about this and you're gonna buy the board, do your research, do your homework. It's called pushback. OneWheels come with a built-in gyroscope to keep the board balanced and to limit what's called over acceleration. If you feel pushback or notice that the nose of the OneWheel starts to lift or tilt upward, take the hint, ease up, and allow the OneWheel to correct itself. Your OneWheel does have limits. Same with the Pint. If at any time you attempt to go too fast, descend a very steep hill, or ride with a very low battery, your OneWheel will push back. The only way to avoid pushback is to decrease your speed. You may also want to play with your digital shaping settings in your mobile phone app. More aggressive settings will often give you a higher threshold for pushback. Now, pushback isn't limited to a single factor. There are a number of factors that come into play here, and pushback will be noticed for a number of reasons, including any of the following. Perhaps your battery charge level is too low. The grade of the terrain you're riding is too steep. The speed at which you're riding could be too fast, could have something to do with your tire pressure, and one of extreme importance that comes into play could even be your weight. The rider's weight could come in as a factor here. I know we've all probably seen videos of people riding and really ripping it up with their OneWheels, but factor in your weight when riding. A lighter rider is going to be able to pull off some things that a heavier rider will not. I never take my board personally over the maximum rated speed of 19 miles per hour. And honestly, keeping it closer to 15 mile per hour, for me, that's where I'm keeping it the majority of the time. I believe even in this video, I'm probably not exceeding 15 miles an hour. Although it probably might look like I'm going a little faster. I'm probably keeping it close to 15, and that's top speed. That's the top speed that I'm comfortable with as a 210-pound rider. Lighter riders, like I said, may get away with pushing the board a little further. Now, it's not just a low battery that can give you pushback. You can actually get what's called full battery pushback as well, because the OneWheel battery uses what's called regenerative braking. Your battery will continue to charge when traveling down a hill. If you get full battery pushback when charging down a hill, simply turn off the OneWheel and turn it back on again. What you want to do is ride back up the hill to drain the battery just a bit. Usually 95% battery will normally do the trick, and then you can start to go downhill again, but take your time. Again, it's something that the OneWheel makes use of with regenerative braking. In short, don't ride down long, steep hills with a fully charged battery. Now, the fifth tip that I want to make note of is you want to know your board's limits. OneWheels have very specific limits that you can find on the OneWheels Future Motion's website or the user manual. If you're riding the Pint, its top speed is rated at 16 miles per hour. Do not exceed that top rated speed. If you're riding the OneWheel XR, its top rated speed is 19 miles per hour. Same here. Don't exceed that top rated speed. And a couple bonus tips. The first bonus tip, take it slow. While first learning how to ride the OneWheel, be sure to keep it well under the 15 mile per hour. It's going to take practice to find your riding style, your strengths, your weaknesses, a good stance for you personally, and to just basically understand the board. The second bonus tip would be start slowly and progress from there. It's true that the OneWheel, can cut and carve beautifully, but those are higher skill levels and have to be worked up to. Now, when first starting out, make sure you practice on a straight, paved, totally flat surface. Don't try to jump curbs, go off-road until you've really mastered your driveway or some other basic trails. And that's really it. If you got any value out of this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that bell for future video notifications. And until next time, take care, happy flying, and remember, in 2020, we still got this.